Hello dear students, I hope you are fine and doing well. Now we are going to discuss our final chapter in our syllabus, which is chapter 8, Money and Monetary Policy. In our first part, we are going to discuss the following points. We will start by studying what is money. Then we move to the different functions of money. In our next part in this chapter, we are going to discuss different measures of money. And finally, we are going to talk about money and the banking system. So let's start with the definition of money. What is money? Of course, you can think of money regarding all the paper money or coins that you are using all over the days to make your purchases. But actually, money is not just your paper currency or coins. Money is wider. Money is anything that is acceptable as a means of payment between different individuals. So, if you have any concern regarding the importance of money, just imagine an economy without money, or imagine your daily life without money. Actually, without money, we are going to use exchange. We are going to use what was called barter. So before the invention of money, exchanges were taking place through the barter system. What do we mean by the barter? We mean by barter exchanging one good for another. So for example, you can exchange some of your apples for some of your neighbor's oranges. So here we are talking about a good for another good. But exchanges through barter are difficult for two main reasons. Number one, barter system requires an essential condition, which is the double coincidence of wants. What do we mean by the double coincidence of wants? We mean in our previous example that I should want the oranges of my neighbor, and at the same time my neighbor should want to get my apples. So in this case, we are having double coincidence of wants. Number two, the values of the goods differ, as some goods are more expensive than others. So in our previous example, maybe apples are more expensive than oranges. So we cannot say that we can exchange 1 kilogram of apples for a kilogram of oranges. In this sense, it appears that money makes trade easier and thus facilitates the transactions in any market. So money is required. Why? For facilitating transactions and making these transactions easier. In this way, we can define money. What is money? Money is defined as anything that is generally accepted as a means of payment. As we said before, we do not mean by money just paper currency or coins. We mean all different things and assets that are acceptable by different individuals as a method of payment. So for instance, for example, if your brother will drive you to the university in exchange for a chocolate bar, the chocolate bar will be considered as money in this case. So in this case, we discover that money might be any asset. But for any asset to serve as money, such asset should be liquid. The more liquid an asset, the more quickly it can be converted to cash. So liquidity is related to the ability of converting the asset into cash. Of course, paper currency is the most liquid form of money. Why? Because we do not need to convert paper currency into cash. So what about the types of money? What are the different types of money? We have actually two types of money. commodity money, we mean by commodity good, and fiat money, we mean by fiat money legal money. So commodity money, as it appears from its name, is money that takes the form of a commodity with intrinsic value. What do we mean by intrinsic value? We mean by intrinsic value that the asset or the commodity or the good in itself has a value. For example, gold has in itself a value. At the same time, chocolate also have in itself a value. So we mean by intrinsic value that the commodity has in itself a value. But there is another type of money, which is fiat money. Fiat money is money used because of government order or by decree. So what do we mean by government order by decree? We mean by government order that the central bank has determined this money, has assigned this money to be legal money. So actually, if you look to your paper currency, for example, the one of 200 Egyptian pounds, you will find in your paper currency the sign of the governor of the Central Bank of Egypt. So such sign from the governor of the Central Bank of Egypt makes this money legal by nature. So if you find any currency without the signature of the governor of the Central Bank of Egypt, actually this money will not be legal. It will not be considered fiat money. So fiat money gets its value not from its intrinsic value, but from the signature of the governor of the Central Bank of Egypt or any other central bank in any other country. So for example, paper money is fiat money, as it gains value not from having a value in itself, but from being considered legal money by the central bank. So now we will turn to the different functions of money in any economy. What are the functions served by money in any economy? In any economy, money have three main functions. Number one, medium of exchange. Number two, unit of account. And finally, store of value. So let's start with its first function as a medium of exchange. Money serves as a medium of exchange because actually whenever we purchase anything we pay using money. So money is accepted by all different individuals as a means of payment, as a medium of exchange. So money is given by buyers to sellers in order to purchase goods and services. Of course, you prefer to be paid in money, not in goods. So money in this case serves as a medium of exchange. Number two, unit of account. As we said before, some goods are more expensive than other goods. So we need a yardstick. We need a unit of account to measure the value of different goods and services. This yardstick or unit of account is what? It's money. So money is used as a yardstick or a unit of account for measuring the relative value of goods and services. For example, if the value of X is twice that of good Y, its price should be that of good Y. And finally, money serves as a store of value. What do you mean by store of value? Sometimes the people might save part of their income in the form of money, not to be consumed or spent in the present, but to be spent in the future. So money can be used to transfer the purchasing power from the present to the future. In such a way, The people can use money to save the part of income not spent on consumption. However, as long as inflation rate is rising in any economy over time, money will lose its value, so holding money will be risky since money is losing its value with the rise in inflation rate. In such a case, you will find some people saving not in the form of money, but in the form of some other assets like gold or real estate or even US dollar. Thanks so much.